Good morning, everybody. I know it is ridiculously early. I do apologize, but as I stated during my live stream last night and belatedly on Discord, circumstances at the moment necessitate that when I would normally be streaming The Long Dark, I have to take care of something else. This is a situation that is likely to last until about the 2nd of August. I don't yet know how it will affect weekend streaming. As soon as I find out, I will let everybody know. However, here we are back with The Long Dark, back in survival mode, and in an interesting region. I wasn't entirely expecting to end up here, but circumstances made it doable. So I am in the Zone of Contamination, making my way down the road towards what I am told is a major sort of repair depot. I am at a stopping off point at the moment, which I am in the process of hopefully going to sleep in. And then I will proceed and we will see what happens. Hopefully we don't end up with anything like zombie bears or something interesting like that. So, let us be about it.
All this gear is slowing me down.
And he is very, very tired, so... Good morning, little nugget. How are you doing? Do you know, I think I'm just going to put my bedroll down here. Where's my bedroll? Oh! Don't let me stop you. I think I have enough water, don't you? And... Thank you! You have a good one as well. And what I want to do here is actually devour some of my pinnacle beaches. Because here my current obsession is getting my vitamin C levels thoroughly ramped up. Unfortunately, my digestive system is such, like I should be able to get away with eating ruined food without doing myself serious harm. Well, thanks for stopping by, little nugget. I do appreciate it. You know, I just had a thought looking at this. I didn't know how cold it might be, but apparently not cold enough to be a problem. The other thing I didn't consider was Aurora and the possibility of electrical cables, which I don't want to have to deal with. And we do seem to be having an Aurora. I don't seem to have any electrical cables lying around, so that's a good thing. On a purely technical note, I don't know what it is about this zone, but it does tend to hammer my frame rate. That is truly peculiar. I say hammer my frame rate. Has a bit of an effect on it. And yes, I have carrots. So I suppose I have snack food. Right. So, what do I need to do? I mean, I'll leave some of the food and stuff here. I need to dump some weight, but... Thinking. Thinking. What am I carrying that's so heavy? What am I not carrying that's so heavy? It's mostly the water. Oh, yes, of course. And the fact that I am in a... Oh, no. I sorted that out yesterday, didn't I? I was wondering yesterday why I was having both a bearskin coat and a wolfskin coat, and then realized I'm wearing both. Let's see. Most of the weight is probably the food. No, these don't help. Gonna hang on to this lot. Yeah, because I don't think I can safely eat anything in this region. Carrying my own food with me is going to be very, very important. So I do have a minor decision to make there, though. How much of this food do I drop and pick up on the way back? Assuming I survive to make it on the way back. You know what? I'm actually going to drop some of the water. That brings it down to acceptable levels, and I can sprint if necessary. Let's see what... Oh, the weather's nice. So, in case anybody was wondering, oh, there's stuff over there. Do I have my new boots? I have new boots. I thought I had new boots. Where's my boots gone? Well, they're not technically new boots, they're chemical boots.
It's starting to weigh me down.
But yeah, this is an interesting little area. What we have, obviously, is this sort of stop-off area. Up that way, we have a dead wolf, it looks like. Off that way is the transfer pass, and down that way isn't. And you can see the green patches on the ground, which is kind of what I've got to avoid. I'm not going this way permanently, I just want to double check something. Oh, there's another wolf. What have we got here? Miner's pants. I hadn't seen those. I don't know if they're any use. But, what are miner's pants like? Yeah, not really that handy, to be honest. So this wolf I avoided yesterday. And there's another dead wolf or two up in that direction. Good morning, Donnie. I wondered if I would be seeing you this morning. How's it going? Oh, there's quite a lot of construction over there in the distance. I can only assume that's where I'm headed. Yeah, and you can see the sort of the problem of the region. I assume this is why they call it the Zone of Contamination. You've been attacked by spiders. Is that a sort of arachnophobia type, I've been attacked by spiders? Or have they deliberately ganged up on you for nefarious purposes? So this kind of area it is desirable to avoid. I have no idea whether the boots will actually help, but we will try. Oh no! You've actually been bitten by them? So now I have a bit of a question. Do I actually try and go round? I think I'll try and go round. Oh, good. Of course, being the pedant I am, I would say common house spider is an awfully large potential bracket of the Spider Kingdom. Excuse me while I focus a bit. Ooh. Wow, this does look like they poisoned the area quite significantly. I don't see. I may just have to take my chances. Yep. Don't know whether that's any use. Wow, this is... I'm told the best way to deal with this is just to get through. So I guess that's what I'm doing. Oh, you have delighted me so much in that you have quoted the Latin species. Wow, quite a bit of exploring to do here. This is actually kind of cool. I think this is the most buildings I've seen in one place in the entire game. Well, we have stuff.
There's got to be something useful in here.
I'm not sure about this, I must admit. Do I really want the fuses? Technically, I might. Let's put it back for now. Can we... What happens if we wear the hat? That's kind of amusing. I'm not sure that really helps me at all, but it's kind of funny to have. Yeah. I have a hard hat. More fuses. Oh, is it going to be one of these situations where I can't get in unless the Aurora's out?
This could be really useful.
Whoa! Except for the fact that in the one place I need scrap lead. I've got a plethora of it. I am going to guess I can't get through the door, can I? Oh, I can.
This gear's starting to slow me down.
Wow, you know what? You could spend a long time just looking around in here. Thing is there anything in here that is actually useful to me?
What have we here?
I've got heavy hammers in various locations. I really don't need another one.
Could end up being useful.
No. I've got quality tools back in the travois. Oh dear. You should have a stern word with Peanut about their role in your house. I'm going to need a light source, which I don't really have, do I? I need to make a torch. Or two. There seems to be an excellent chance of stuff back in the dim and dark recesses. Okay, I can see I could just spend at least a live stream hanging around in here. Or, coincidentally, that appears to be what I'm doing.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Yes, that sounds very like a cat, doesn't it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure those are actually any use, but and that's probably not. Why am I carrying a fresh deer hide with me? That really makes no sense whatsoever. There's enough wood for all kinds of things. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and this will just turn into an idle ramble through the wreckage of a bygone civilization. Yeah, bygone as in a few years ago. What's my... Yeah. Oh, great. Here we go. Well, not oh, great. Here we go. Well, this might be a hint of what it's going to be like. I'm getting better at that. Oh, and I lost the shell, didn't I? Yeah, you can see the issue with the meat here. Not sure the poisoned meat carcass. Oh, great! And we've got glimmer fog. Wonderful. Fantastic. That's just what I need. Oh, it's interesting. It doesn't let you collect the meat. Oh, that's good. My frame rate is really tanking. Good grief. Now I need to check something. I'm just going to run up G-overlay, see what the system's doing. Interestingly, I can safely tell you yeah, this frame rate issue isn't doesn't appear to be GPU related, but it is might be CPU related, curiously. That's kind of interesting. Still, with the glimmer fog, I might be able to see around in here a bit better.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Yeah, it's... Nope, that's definitely... That's the CPU. That's the design. That's a design thing, I think. But this isn't helping me see around inside, unfortunately. Yeah. I hope the video is okay for everybody. I'm actually streaming faster than the game is running. I think actually I know one thing I can do. Hang on a second. What I can do is switch that off, all of which will help. Let's see whether that helps me at all. Oops. And hopefully I don't have to... Why did I have motion blur on? I never do that. Yeah. And let's see whether that affects anything outside. It does. Those changes have made some difference.
Pack is getting too heavy to carry.
The good news is I have discovered that just because your frame rate might be low, if it is consistent, then that makes all the difference. But this is still somewhat weird, it has to be said. Oh, let's just try something else. I don't think this is going to make any difference, but nope, not that one. Display. Let's see whether that makes any difference. I don't think it will. Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't. I think I am CPU limited. Oops. Yeah, there we go. What I could also do is just change that to ultra. Let's just change that to high. Just for now. Here we go. No, we don't. That's worse. That is seriously worse. What on earth have I done? That was very peculiar result from doing the fiddling. Good morning, Sudo. Sorry. It looks like the game is not happy with the zone of contamination. My GPU is not being particularly hammered, but my CPU, well, that's not being hugely hammered. So a game which I can normally run at something like 120 frames a second isn't too happy with it. Wow. Okay, that is really bad. Why am I suddenly at 10 frames a second? What on earth did I do? Oops. It is, yeah. I was running happily enough at 30, 40 frames a second. And then I changed this and it's really not happy with me. Okay. And now we're back to close to acceptable. Very peculiar. It is It is worth noting my CPU is being fairly substantially impacted by this. But it's playable. Barely. Yeah, it's playable. I haven't seen this game hammered this. There's another one. This is why I don't like running around in fog. Anybody need some wolfskins? May as well grab the hides. Oh. I imagine if I wasn't streaming, my frame rate would actually probably be up at about 60. But yeah, this is odd. There is something about this region as a whole has been interesting on frame rates since I first got here. I can only assume it's because of all the buildings. Is my best guess. I got a question. Can I make? Let's see. I can make torches. I know. Oh, I don't have anything necessary for that, do I? Gonna go through my preserved foods. Don't really want to go wandering around in the fog, but I've already gotten some grief. I saw a bench post, a fence post out the corner of my eye, and I thought it was a wolf for a second. Well, given that I've been attacked twice in rapid succession, I suppose it. You're kidding me. There's another one. How many wolves do we have here? Welcome to the Long Dark, where we listen to the wolves howl through the fog. And I have no source of illumination. Well, no, I don't have. I've got flares.
It's starting to weigh me down.
Let's have a look around in here. The marine flares don't last very long, unfortunately, but I could use a lantern, actually.
This'll keep the lamp burning.
Don't have a lamp yet. Wow, that is quite a structure. I hope whatever game engine they elect to use works better than this is. Now I need some sticks, because then I can make torch. Oh, you know what I can do? Oh, I'm being silly. Because of course I'm being silly. I can make torches, can't I? I don't need to have this kind of thing.
Feels like a lot of gear.
All right.
All right.
All right. Now we can do a little bit of a look around.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Yeah. Complain, complain, complain.
I'm tired, but I can't sleep.
You haven't been trying to sleep yet, Mackenzie. Wait till you've tried to sleep, then you can't sleep. Then you get to complain. Of course, I am questioning the advisability of wandering around a chemical plant with an exposed flame. But, hey, you know, what do I know?
This stuff will come in handy. think I can use this.
I'm actually kind of at a loss for words. Maybe it's because it's so early in the morning. My brain hasn't had the chance to get thinking lately. Oh, dusting self is always useful. It'd be funny if I found a reloading bench. A whetstone! I could definitely use that.
I could use this.
I have to admit, this is actually sort of strangely fascinating. It's not... the last structure I recall that was this sort of size that I've actually been in was Carter Hydroelectric Dam. I'm carrying way too much stuff, I know. Don't want to go down there. I wonder if this is... I kind of want to get higher up in the structure, if only because it's there. Ah, there's stairs. No? Are those stairs? Don't look like they're stairs per se. I think this is the most wolves I've had to kill in a single go in some considerable time. Last time I had a situation like that was in Coastal Highway, where I picked a fight with the wolf packs there. Well, that looks promising, actually. Yep. Let's throw a lit torch into the darkness where we don't know what chemicals they've got lying around. I want to get into that little cabin type thing over there. we go. Unfortunately, can't light a fire in here, can I? Nope, I can't. So how is everybody's day going? So, as I was saying, yeah, this situation with me having to stream at this time, probably, I anticipate it lasting until August the 2nd, so just over just over 10 days, I guess. Shouldn't affect the evening streams. So, those who want me to watch me flail ineptly through Warframe, dependent upon the charity of others. One of my subscribers very kindly, in Warframe I mean, essentially gave me a rather, a rather desirable Warframe to build, which I am currently in the process of building. They gave me the blueprints for it. Very nice of them. Absolutely no reason why they would. Although I'm guessing that they did have excess blueprints. And certainly I would do the same. But they didn't have to. They really didn't. Help me no end.
That'll come in handy.
Of course, Pseudo here has surpassed me in the game. On the other hand, I have surpassed my son, who got me into the game in the first place. Can't remember if I mentioned it. I think I did. I was talking to him last night, and I said that the only reason I got the Rhino Warframe was because he'd talked a lot about it a few years ago when he was grinding for the same thing. And I won't say he was complaining about the grind, but he did observe that a significant amount was necessary. And so, because he had done it, I felt obliged to follow suit. It is rare indeed that I actually exceed my son's achievements in any game, with the exception of Minecraft. Because he's just better at this kind of thing than I am. Did we get into that? It seems like we ought to be able to. Even though I know I can just put the bedroll on the floor, I still have this sort of mental feeling like it would be awfully nice if I could find a sort of room rather than this whole exposed area. Alright, this is getting ludicrous. I'm going to drop some stuff. Let's drop these. What else have I got? If in doubt, eat the ruined food first. No particular reason. Ah, as usual. I forgot to maintain the... Here we go. What is a live stream without my trusty 3D mechanical clock program running in the background? Alright, don't let me forget that I've put some valuable hides there. What else can I drop that I don't immediately need? You know what? I can make a little food cache, I think. I could just eat the carrots, couldn't I? I feel like Bugs Bunny. What's up, Doc? Do people still watch Bugs Bunny? I suppose, actually, now that I think about it, a lot of those old cartoons, they really wouldn't get away with them today. You can make excuses about some of them. Who remembers Pepe Le Pew? Pepe Le Pew was hilarious. Except if you tried to make it these days, that would not be a very good idea. Although the amusing thing is, he almost always had his sort of comeuppance at the end of it. But yeah, some of the attitudes in there, just you wouldn't dream of putting them on TV these days. Especially not for children. Now, I don't know whether Pepe Le Pew could be regarded as a children's cartoon, but I mean, I watched it when I was a kid, along with, Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and all the others. Yes, the main problem I have is carrying all that food around, which I will slowly make my way through, I have no doubt. Alright, mental note to self, main building, that's where I've dropped my hides. Was there a door here? Yes, there was.
This gear's starting to slow me down.
Oh! I was not expecting to be here. Wherever here is. Oh, huh. Do you know what? I thought I'd come into a different room. No, I haven't. I've just walked outside. Just looked different. Well,
The night can't be far behind.
I'll definitely have no problem making water here. And now the frame rate's behaving itself again. Presumably because the fog isn't impacting me so badly. Right. You know, in a way, this is actually more boring than having to dash backwards and forwards looking for vitamin C in the transfer pass region. Right. As the
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Clock has reminded me, I've been going for an hour, so I will take my mandatory toilet break, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes, and I will leave you with the soothing music from the intermission. I think what I'm going to do is roast some potatoes. That seems like a plan. If I can find my way back out. Who feels like a nice roasted potato? Let us... You're not going to let me build a fire here? It's not going to let me build a fire in here. You irritating thing.
All this gear is slowing me down.
Kidding me? Why is it not letting me build a fire? And this is going to be too exposed, I guarantee it. Yeah, too windy to start a fire there. Oh, we're going to have an aurora. Great. Did I find the one and only spot where I could actually build a fire? Oh, come on! I've built fires in similar locations. Oh, that's ludicrously funny. If that's the right word. Well, I guess I'm just going to have to cook potatoes tomorrow night. Assuming it allows me to put a bedroll down, of course.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
And the good news appears to be I don't seem to have any. Ah, right, okay. I'm good. Let's just make sure it's not going to get too cold in here. You know, these are not bad conditions to have a look around. Let's take the opportunity. Not seeing any issues with cables. Maybe the wind's died down.
Starting to weigh me down. Come on.
If I was Bugs Bunny, I'd be roasting carrots. Can I place a carrot? No, I can't place a carrot. Don't necessarily recommend hanging around outside with wolves and what have you in the middle of an aurora. I've not actually... Have I actually encountered any predators in the middle of an aurora? I do not believe I have, but it's not something I care to try. I am reminded of the time in Forsaken Airfield where I got through the night by making and eating porridge all night. Well, one thing is for sure, my vitamin C problems should be resolved for some significant amount of time. Alright, let's go and see what else we can find.
This gear's starting to slow me down.
Wonderful. Let's just see if we can make this building over here. Have I been in this building already? I don't remember. Ooh, wonderful. Should have picked up more torches, shouldn't I?
I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
Of course, what you would really do is just drop your entire pack somewhere and come back for it. But It doesn't let you do that.
Someone's stash.
Yeah, there is a respirator in here somewhere, apparently, and you do need filters for it.
Never would have thought to look here.
What do you mean you never would have thought to look there? Got a feeling what I ought to do is go back outside and make some more torches. What's a random stick doing up here? I'm going to regret coming down here. I can feel it in my bones. Oh, it's a mine.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
I didn't realize there was a mine here. Okay. I'm actually going to go back and see if we can't find a better way of exploring. At least pick up some more torches before I start heading into things like mines. Mental note, there's a wolf outside still.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Actually, if I had sticks, if I had more sticks, I could make a torch. I think I need more sticks than the one I've got, though. Let's have a little look. Oh, I can make a tinder plug. How many sticks do I need for a torch? That's interesting. Oh, here we go. Oh, I need 3 sticks. Okay. Which I don't have. Why can't I make torches out of things other than sticks? If I had my travois, I could do it. This is what we've come to. The long dark. The search for sticks. Actually, there's a chance I can get sticks from this. I'm not sure if this is one of those bushes where you can actually collect sticks from it. No, it isn't. That's irritating.
This'll come in handy.
Wow, that's a full-blown mine they've modelled in the game. Can I get up here? Can. And this again is not one of the things I can get sticks from. We have what looks like dead trees. Hopefully dead trees mean sticks. Health warning. This water may cause ill effects to humans and animals. Well, that's kind of good to know. I'm trying to remember, there is actually I think it was a severely polluted lake somewhere. I want to say Colorado, but I'm not sure, where they found some really quite interesting microorganisms in it, including, I think, some really peculiar viruses of truly gigantic size. I mean, as viruses go. And I think it's actually, I say naturally polluted. I don't mean that humans have done it.
It's starting to weigh me down.
And once again, I can't see what I'm doing. Somebody was busy leaving flares around. Oops. That was not a good move. I am going to waste a flare, though. There we go. Now I can see. I'll probably find out that I'm completely wasting my time. Yep. Let's get out of this region before I choke to death.
Feels like a lot of gear.
That's because it is a lot of gear. I am carrying an excessive amount of stuff. Oh, that's interesting. I've been having issues with my earbuds playing Warframe, with the sound stuttering and breaking up. And it appears to be the earbuds, not anything else. And I thought everything was okay, but I am now hearing a little bit of stutter in the long dark. So maybe I need to start considering either new earbuds or something else. Yep. Definitely getting some stutter there. Alright. I don't know. Do earbuds slowly fail? I mean, I've had these for a few years. I don't even remember what model they are. The good news is I do still have my headset, so I can always return to using those if I have to. I don't think I'm going to be finding any sticks around here soon. In all this region, I found exactly one stick, and it was in the most unlikely of locations. Yeah, that's a full-blooded open pit mine. Oh. Almost looks like it's worth going down and taking a look. What have we got here, if anything? No, nothing there. Alright, let's head back to where it's at least marginally safe. Yeah, marginally safe. For certain values of safe. Don't really need that. Yeah, I've got a slight theory that the game engine isn't really optimized for buildings like this. My understanding, I think, is that the Black Frost will use the Unreal engine, which I think might be better suited. Yep, definitely run out of things to say. This is weirdly alien, though. Is it just me? Thinks that? Really not used to seeing something like this here, although perfectly reasonable. There's no reason why you wouldn't have it. The interesting thing is, though, there is a sort of implied infrastructure. They have a mine. They've got a full-blown functional mine. They had a cannery. They had a whaling station there. For all the fact that they make a point about this being some isolated location, there's an awful lot of infrastructure here, which, does kind of question the whole isolated aspect that this is supposed to be. Yep, earbuds definitely. I'm going to have to do some further testing, see whether it's... try and confirm that it is in fact the earbuds. Have I been around here? The lack of footprints says no, but then we do have weather. And I'm assuming that's what leads to, is that what leads to the mine, maybe? Well, I'll find out in a second if I've been around here. If that box is unsearched, the answer is no. One thing I haven't done? I haven't done any mapping at all. Huh, at least we have some nice weather. So far, cross fingers, we haven't had the kind of situation we experienced entirely too much of in a Forsaken Airfield. It has been pointed out that each region can have its own separate weather and has its own separate tendencies. Which isn't necessarily logical, but Well, I guess I'm going to have to brave the wolf again. What's my chemical poisoning like? Oh, not too bad. In terms of general utility, the place just up the road there was actually more useful than this. Well, so far. I mean, I have obviously got a lot more to search. Let's go have a look over here. And besides which, the wind helps blow me in that direction. The interesting thing is, it is kind of curious. You would kind of think that wolves would avoid this area. I don't know that I want to go over there. Yeah, that's a big no-no. Let's see if we can just sneak in here. Which we can. Is this... Oh, this is indoors, technically.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Don't need the hydrogen peroxide because I have other things. Looks like somebody was here for a while.
Where's the good stuff?
Really need accelerant. Alright, let's see if we've got anything useful in here. Not sure what I mean by useful, to be honest.
This stuff will come in handy.
You know, I'm surprised we haven't found a fire barrel. Normally in these locations, that seems to be what you find. Hey, Tony. Just wandering around the somewhat ominously named Zone of Contamination. which it turns out is a gigantic, well, a rather large open pit mine. Apparently infested by poisoned wolves. You get the impression from the number of flares they've left around that they want you to go into the mine itself, which we shall do. We shall definitely do that. I thought for one exciting moment that was a... Oh, I know what I can do. Let's, I think I can remanufacture... Do I have any arrow shafts? I've got one, don't I? I sort of picked up randomly.
Could end up being useful.
Don't need a crowbar. Right, let's head back to somewhere I can sleep, I suppose. Oh, wait a second. I want to check over there, don't I? And someone just happened to leave firewood lying around. Ah, that's where I wanted to check, wasn't it? Indolent hoppers.
Feels like night is coming.
Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable assessment. Oh, look. I could use the storm lantern. Let's see if I can find a place to stop the night here. Good grief. Yeah. Compared with other places we have been, there is a positive embarrassment of riches in terms of food.
Thank goodness. I could use this.
I'll take a better knife any day. Well, it's a mine, obviously, but I don't know what type. And my knowledge of mining is insufficient to hazard a guess. However, I have seen open pit mines like that for copper. If you go to somewhere like Bisbee in southern Arizona, they have an open pit mine there, and that was specifically for copper. Although I think they got some silver out of it as well. Yeah, the Bisbee situation is kind of interesting. It started out as a mining town and has since become more of an artist's town. It's well worth the visit if you happen to be in the area. But there's a chunk of the town right next to the open pit that the land is owned by the mining company, and I can't remember which mining company. But there's a town on it as well. And the thing is, everybody who lives in that town does so with the knowledge that the mining company might one day ask them to move on. Right now, or back then, it was not actually commercially viable to mine the copper in the mine. Well, I think we're going to set up here for the night. I hope. And hope that this is sufficiently sheltered. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of the mining company that owns a big chunk of Bisbee. But the area is riddled with mine shafts and tunnels. Apparently, you can actually go from Bisbee itself across the border into Mexico through the mine system, except from what I understand, there is no map. There's no complete map of the tunnels and what have you. But there was a time it was quite a hotbed of culture in the American West, sort of 19th century. I think actually both Tucson and Bisbee were better developed than Phoenix for a long time. Let's see how cold I get. Not, apparently. This insomnia seems to have worn off. Oh, apparently he does have insomnia, but just not very much of it. Right. Has to be said, this is turning into one of the weirder locations we've been to. I mean, it's just, like I said, it feels kind of odd being here. And as you can see, I'm doing my usual thing by carrying entirely too much food with me, and I probably ought to go back and drop it off somewhere. So what we'll do is we'll head back to the I can't remember what it was called, the concentrator. Ah, if it's a concentrator, then that would be... What do they use concentrators for in mining, if anything? Or is that just something they made up? Iron ore? Maybe? Could be copper, I suppose. I don't know what a gold mine looks like. Although a gold mine is not what you would call environmentally friendly. Maple syrup! Because I'm not carrying enough stuff. But it's 900 calories in one go. You know what? This would actually be a relatively good location to start a game in. Oh, I've already been in here. I just hadn't noticed that. It's a lot of resources. It's a lot of food to get you started. I mean, you can't hunt here. Well, you can. It's just that you probably can't eat the meat. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is head back over to the concentrator, because it is coming up to 7 o'clock, so I need to start thinking about closing down. We'll just make our slow way there, and I'm going to at some point drop a bunch of stuff off so I can move around with a tad more alacrity than I am at present, because this is just painful. Still so much to explore. Need a stash of torches. Oh, I've got the lantern. Of course I do. That's perfect for going down into the mine, and I have... Assuming it's got fuel in it. And of course, here are the wolves that decided they weren't happy with my existence. There's still another one over there somewhere. Right, here we are again. One thing I will just quickly check. Yeah, refuel that. There we go. Oh, I need some scrap metal and I can repair it. I might do that. Hello, Nika Brika. You're catching us just at the end, unfortunately. I was just about to go into my farewell spiel. But for anybody who's just recently joined us, we are in the Zone of Contamination. We're at the mine in the Zone of Contamination. An example of which you can see over there in the distance, those drifting sort of yellow fogs that are patched all over the place. Oh, right, okay, so you probably heard. Yeah. And there's the wolf. That's the third one in this area. I've no doubt at some point he and I will come to blows. So anyway, I should be back tomorrow at the same ridiculously early time, because as I say, circumstances are such that I can't stream at my usual time in the mornings. However, the evenings should remain unaffected. Don't know what's happening over the weekend. So anyway, thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you were mildly entertained. If you were mildly entertained, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. But in the meantime, between now and next time, it is 7 a.m. Yes, it is almost exactly 7 a.m. for me. So, between now and next time, I hope you all have a good day. Remember to hug your Kubro. Be kind to children and animals, and be excellent to each other. And I will see you soon.